Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I am Gerry. I have Max and Edward here. Let's talk about Dubai, gentlemen. Sam's favorite hangout spot. Warm weather.
All the clubs going.
Yeah, warm weather training. Everybody's talking it up, talking about how refreshing it is. It's like some of Sam's winter fresh gum. Very refreshing. Makes you feel as though you reborn. There are...
Gets rid of the gravy.
You know, yeah, no more gravy, folks. And apparently they're getting to kind of hang out a little bit too, do a little fun stuff, not just the training, but you see the photos of DCL and Holgate partying with...
Wink, wink, wink.
Am I saying this person's name correctly? Pia Mia.
That's the one.
Yeah. Edward knows who this is because he's got his fingers on the pulse of the world pop scene. My fingers are more just scratching my back. I have no idea about what's going on with that. I don't know who that is. Apparently she's a lady and she sings. So there you go. But yeah, some pictures of Mason Holgate kind of hanging out with a champagne bottle on his head.
David, what have you been doing?
David, why are you letting this happen, David? So, guys, having said all that, there are a lot of supporters who are kind of pissed. Okay, let me say that they're angry. See, we say pissed for angry here, and you guys say pissed for something totally different. They're pissed, too, for you guys as well. But, you know, but they're angry because it feels like a reward for a subpar season for these players. I don't necessarily feel like that, but what do you guys think?
But I just think it really just... I was talking about this the other day. I think it just... if you looked at the 80s in comparison to now, the many high-profile players going to a pub, having a pint, or, interacting with fans at a pub, etc., etc. George Best, notorious for his his lifestyle, but I just think as society's changed, obviously the perception of that changed. It's not in a pub; it'll be in a club. They're not going to be drinking a pint; they're going to be drinking vodka and Red Bull. You know what I mean? Mm. So in essence, I think it's not too much different to what we've always really seen in the game. But in regard to it, the perception that it's a reward for a subpar season. I mean, we were discussing just off camera there, Allardyce had come out and said, he's very fond of Dubai as a location. He's took all of the clubs that he's ever managed to Dubai for to reap its benefits, such as the weather, the service that's provided by the people that look after them.
The ladies.
To be honest, I don't really have a particularly, I'm not angry about it because I think you just get used to seeing footballers have this sort of lifestyle. It is what it is. The game's evolved, and this is what these players do now. If they have a week out the schedule, they'll go abroad for 4 days on a training camp. As long as these benefits that Sam speaks about can be seen on the pitch, then I haven't got a problem with it at all.
Mm.
Yeah, I think. They went last year, so after that warm weather training camp, didn't they come back and do a bit of a run in form, if I'm not mistaken, as well last season? They had a bit of a run in form as well after a warm weather camp, as far as I know. So I reckon it could do good for them. All right, I can understand why people would see it as like a reward for a bad season, but at the end of the day, they're just people. They're just people like everyone else. That
was going to be my point.
Sorry.
No. I'm just echoing what you guys are saying. I think you both are hitting a lot of the important points for me. I understand people getting frustrated with seeing football that they don't appreciate. They see some of the effort from some of these players. I get that. If I saw a bunch of photos of Schneiderlin sitting there, rolling around on a pile of cash, I would get kind of annoyed. But
duck it.
Yeah, these are young guys. Young guys turn around a lot faster after a night out. Who knows how much they were actually drinking? We don't know. And they're people. They are people. I mean, we're not the only team. I mean, West Brom, their guys are stealing taxis.
Shout out, buddy.
Ledge.
I mean, is it bad that I just kind of giggled at the idea of imagining Gareth Barry stealing a taxi? It just...
For some reason or another, I always thought he'd be wearing a pair of his gazelles while he's doing it as well. Those Adidas gazelles that he got caught training for when he was at Everton. Yeah, I know. As you say, I think it's just, these antics do occur, and the media are a lot quicker to pick up on them than they would have been in yesteryear. So, yeah, I think you've got to look at the media for at instances like this. They are a lot quicker at picking up on them. I think football's become such a commodity to the people, really, that any kind of waves that are made that might not even be newsworthy get reported. So,
yep.
To be honest, if Mason Holgate's out pulling a singer, it doesn't really interest me. Good on the lad, but I don't feel it warrants a page in the Echo.
I mean, I right now, stories that are considered newsworthy. You know what I mean? I mean, when's our next game, guys? When do we play next?
Saturday, isn't
it? Saturday. Those pictures were from when? Like a week before. You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about them cutting loose a little bit. It's not like they're on a bender or anything where they're, drinking every night.
Well, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're allowed to be people a little bit. They're allowed to relax. They're allowed to bond some with their new teammates in between, which they need that.
As we've said, this has been brought up many a time on here, and it's been brought up many a time by Evertonians. We've said plenty of time, the team just haven't really seemed to gel, and the bonds don't really seem to be there. If the lads are spending more time with each other, you see there's been a lot of Yannick Bolasie and Theo Walcott with Cenk Tosun, Phil Jagielka. They're sort of the senior members of the squad doing their thing, and you'll obviously have the younger lads doing their thing. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, Theo looks to be a bit like he's trying to get sort of like conversing with everyone.
Yep.
Especially, I mean, if you look at his Instagram stories and all that, which are posted by Toffee Blues as well, so Everton Newsfeed, check them out.
That's right.
On Instagram. He seems to be trying to get on with everyone, doesn't he? Really.
Yeah. I mean, so. I feel like a lot of the guys are genuinely trying to work their way in. They want to be a part of it. I don't see a lot of players that are. The only one that didn't really seem like he was really integrating very well was Sandro. You saw him off to the side a lot, by himself a lot. Not really looking very happy when he was photographed. So yeah, but I feel like there's some camaraderie happening. People are seeming like they genuinely like each other, or at least they look like that in their photos and videos. We're aware that that's not always reality, but
yeah, Gerry put himself up in a six-pack the other day. We all knew. Sorry.
No one's supposed to know, Edward. These are secrets. Secrets for a reason. All right, so...
The truth should always be heard.
So, Sam, maybe this was all Sam's big idea to get them in warm weather, because he had said Cenk Tosun wasn't used to the weather in England.
Born in Germany.
And that's...
Played in Turkey.
Yeah, and that was his main reasoning for not playing him, saying he needs to get used to things, but also he's not used to the weather. Well, I've seen it widely reported on Twitter and in random blogs that that's not true as far as the difference in temperature between Turkey and England during the winter. Apparently, it's not that big of a disparity, and of course Germany, we know that. So yeah, apparently that is clearly false. Additionally, Jags came out and said Tosun has looked good in training. He did say that perhaps this time not playing a whole lot would be good for him to gradually work his way in. He did say that. But then Duncan Ferguson came out and said Tosun looks good too. We're made up that we've got him. And the club released a video today where he's banging him in. He looks pretty solid. So Are we all just still under the same impression? Sam's just still full of shit.
As I say, with this Dubai, the Dubai trip really just reeks of Sam Allardyce, and what Sam Allardyce wants, Sam Allardyce gets. Something that I picked up that he said to the media while he's been over there is that literally every target that's set, all the targets that are set for the players are set by GPS and statistics and all that witchcraft, which I still, for a Premier League manager to be solely dependable on statistics.
Sounds like Dave.
And
actually, Dave has come out and said and spoken against that. Believe it or not, as addicted as he is to stats, he agrees.
Yeah, I just feel like taking that human element out of the game of the man-to-man management and things like that, where you've got to have trust in your players to deliver. You've got to take the risks of gambling, putting a player in. That's what football's about. If you field the same team that are coming up with the same stale statistics, 9 times out of 10, and they're still not turning up, you've got to look at alternatives from there. So that's my only issue with the statistics side.
It is a very tactical game now, isn't it? There's no sort of thrill or risk in it anymore. It's all pure tactics. I mean, the way he's coming now with the top 6, he's tactically trying to set up and defend, or against smaller teams, he wants to go out and attack and all that, and that's his tactics. And it's weird. It is.
I think he's taking a new approach now, though. All right. I think he came out and said, "No more rotating. Let's play. Let's start to just play a little bit more consistently." And I think he's been gearing up this whole time for a big run in, so he can be the hero. You know what I mean?
That's and drop the base.
I mean, yeah. He's the only. How many more games against the top 6 do we have?
2.
Not that many. You know what I mean?
City, Liverpool. That's it.
Yeah, and so I'll be curious how we set up against those two. But I think for the most part, I think he might be pretty consistent with formation for all those other games.
Well, I mean, we talked about it plenty of times. As soon as we saw this kind of 4-3-3 emerge against Leicester, we thought, this should be something that we stick with and attempt to combat against any side. The only issue with that really is, now how are you going to integrate Tosun if Nias continues in such great form? There are plenty of other players that you think should warrant a run out really. I would, and Gerry, I think you've been the one that's kind of flagged this up multiple times. The striking options that we've got, we could force a real good partnership out of a Nias and Tosun, or Tosun and DCL. So it remains to be seen, but I think we will be happy if he continues with this kind of 4-3-3, and if he kind of goes in with this fearless mentality against Liverpool in particular, at home, it should be a game that we look to take to them. But yeah, I understand.
I know DCL came out today and said, you know what, coach or manager gave me some time off, and I feel good now. And so we could see him getting more minutes too. However, lately when he's gotten minutes, he's been coming in for Walcott, playing like kind of that winger role, which is interesting because I think we saw the best of DCL when he started playing striker more.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know. I know if he's fighting for striker minutes, that's just another bit of competition for Tosun to get some minutes. So
it's nice to have sort of the players we have. I mean, we've got a young talent coming through who's got pace and power. We've got a guy that's very unpredictable, but plenty of pace and grit and determination. One that's strong and can hold up a ball. We can go, it's great to have it because it's a variety of different ways that we can go about it.
I mean,
that's the whole.
I think we'd all like to actually see that begin to be implemented, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like we see the potential of the flexibility, but at times it feels like the manager is not utilizing that. Yeah.
Pretty much hit the nail on the head there. I think you know, there are many possibilities and you know, flexibility with these. It's not just the standard starting 11 that we've been seeing. You know, again, we've got lads on the bench that you feel like could, if given a run in the side, make a claim for themselves. I mean, look at Davies and what Davies managed to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there.
So that is the end of our Dubai segment. We kind of wish we were there.
Mm.
You know,
we do.
That would be nice. Yeah, if you're liking what we do, please subscribe. We're really close to 500 subs, and yeah, that's just continuing to help us grow. Because the more we grow, the more this can actually be like a thing, like a real thing, you know? Like, comment, all that hot stuff. Check out Max's stuff on the Toffee Blues website. He has many articles on there, analysis. The guy does a lot of analysis. Check out Edward's YouTube channel, Jam E. James. Details should be below, assuming I remembered to put them in the details.
Gerry makes a guest appearance as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm in one of Edward's videos.
Worth checking out.
Yeah, grading the transfer window, January transfer window. So, yeah, check it out if for some reason you want to see me. But yeah.
Hey, that's why they're all sticking around.
Oh, that's sweet, but sarcastic. All right, so anyway, that'll be it. We got more videos to make. So, yeah. Bye.